No small talk, bring the big money. Make money, get money. Every time I turn, it costs money.
So me stick to the hustle cause of that man they can. From Vinci to Chile, yo straight to London. I will lock the place, how the whole place govern. Pick up bloody shotty from wrong, now make the money like Elon Musk. Make the money like Elon. Who make the money like Elon Musk? Make the money like Elon. Ray Charles in a Ray-Ban. Black Rolls Royce, me no Seaman. Who make the money
always
like
lit in Cali, always lit in West Park, always lit in South River, always lit in Rose Bay, always lit in French, always lit in Camden Park.
97.1, always lit.
So yes, it is going to be one of those mornings again, is it?
Boy, all I'm gonna say is
I want
the briefcase kind of close and a little fighting with this briefcase.
I was the Wayne Day, St. Vincent and the Grenadines all the morning, everybody morning. And this morning, this is early. This morning we have I will say the infamous, because he raised a case the other night in what area that was? Where that was
in. Where did that happen? When they bust the briefcase.
Wait, before that. Kishore, good morning, Kishore.
Hold on. Before we reach there, big up Captain Lanos.
Yeah. Big up Captain.
You know, Kishore.
Sean.
Kishore. I feel like he could have passed AIA, pick up some quiche, some patties. You know, we treat everybody here good.
Yeah, like
we could have treat we good.
No,
so now you have to work your way back up to good graces because you ain't bring no breakfast.
No, it's in the case.
Oh, okay.
Smelling the quiche and all these things.
Big up Captain Lanos, they're open right now.
So we've been joined by the candidate for
North Leeward.
Kishore, Dr. Kishore Shallow.
Stop calling him Kishore.
What the boss call him? What we gonna do? So Kish. We can call it Kish.
Kish safe. You're safe with Kish.
Yeah, Kish works. What going on, brother? What going on? Everything good?
Morning, man. Yeah, man. Everything great. Only for me, boy. This is
this one is a catch. Yeah, this one.
I think the last time you told us that you're more of a night owl.
Yeah. So you should see me this morning trying to force myself to go to sleep at 2 o'clock.
I was watching the yesterday was the what
nomination
day. If I get that bobcat thing from the that
I think it's called it buggy.
The buggy, we get a buggy.
Boy, I say, most tractors and those things are yellow. Right?
Right.
So I say we repping fully yellow yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, nomination is fully yellow.
All right. Okay.
And a partner of mine actually owns the buggy.
Right.
So then I say, we had to organize.
Nice.
Yeah, man. So we we decided to make the entrance in the buggy, and it was well received. In fact, we didn't only drove through the NDP crowd, but we drove through the ULP crowd.
Right.
That was for my opponent.
Right.
And Chris, you will believe that I representing them already.
Yeah.
With the warmth. I don't think the MP received that level of love yesterday from his people. In fact, I understand that he evaded his people yesterday, but that is another matter we can talk about later on.
Okay.
All right.
We start up nice. All right.
So are you registered to? I don't know how it works. When you become a candidate for a constituency, you're automatically registered in there to vote there, or you could vote somewhere else.
You could vote on wherever you live. You vote wherever you live.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
So the nomination, what's happened? Just to give some clarity on the process. So you have to be elected by constituents. For that, whatever constituency you're going to represent, you have to be. So everyone who would have nominated me yesterday, 6 electors, would have been from North Leeward, along with a justice of peace who has to sign the document to say whether verify everything.
That you are.
Yes.
That you are Kishore.
Yes,
you're Kishore.
Yeah.
But I like that name. I find Kishore suit them better. Well, let me jump right into it now. First thing I want to ask, I don't know about them, but first thing I want to ask, I was listening to something that you said. Was it a video? No.
It was on stage.
It was on stage, you said it.
When you're basically explaining why you chose to go with the NDP rather than ULP. And you said something along the lines of...
Your
principles don't align with theirs.
Principles, definitely not stars. We don't see anything stars. Yeah. And most Bentons right now don't want anything about stars.
Right. Okay.
Because the perceived stars are very dull in this country. All right. But the point I made was simply that when I look at the not only the members of the ULP, and I was speaking specifically about the actual candidates there, right? Whether you want to go through the line of the ministers or the other candidates. And I went through them with the Prime Minister, and I explained to him why I cannot align myself with the ULP now or in the future.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, some of it I'll be careful this man. I told my lawyer make sure you listen because boy, right now you know how it is. Right? So
His wife in that briefcase.
But it is simply a case of when I observe these people over the years. Let me give an example. Most of the NDP, the ULP candidates, they are almost just pick out of nowhere, right? With hardly any experience, any background in anything really. In fact, some of them, you'll see a few lawyers and you'll see others with very little experience. That's the truth when they actually got into the party. And what I've realized is that we have some men and women who have never done any great service in this country, given opportunity to serve. You know, talk about force, right? Right. And when you get the opportunity, it is not bad to give people opportunities. Right. But when they get these opportunities because they are handpicked by the Prime Minister, they carry on as though they reach. They have arrived. People swell-headed, right? And getting on like they're better than people. Yeah. I can't align with that. My mother taught me values. You know, I'm grounded, right? Not only in integrity and honesty, but you have to be humble, right? You have to be there with the people all the time. And if you could go through them, you could observe them. Jagger, you online all the time. You would see ministers traveling across the world on government business. And you would see the post and all kind of thing and never want to post something related to what they went there for. Right? Real newcomer behavior. Right? So and there are different things, but again, I don't want to go down a certain line because you know, I not because it's election season, I'll make sure I ain't pay out any free money to anybody. You know?
What is it like now? Now that you're down there, well, I could see you real established down there now. What is it now from when you started off as Kish and now Kish? How you making that comparison? Starting off Kish, now Kish.
Same Kish.
Same Kish.
Same Kish. From growing up in North Leeward. Listen, one of the things I love about North Leeward most is that the day you decide you're going to play, you're going to play them and pull you right back down to the ground.
Right.
You understand me?
That sounds like you.
Yeah. So, you know, just being able to remain Kish, go on a block and sit and have a drink with people. Right. Right. I have a man cooking a food there, you could eat something with them too. Right. That just the other day, a partner of mine, we were reasoning, right? And he was telling me, boy, listen. And he was being blatantly honest. And this is something that I normally hear from people. That, boy, you're president of Cricket West Indies. And the way you just come and fit in here. Like anybody come here, you would never know. Right? The office that you hold. And people actually appreciate that. But Chris, this wasn't something overnight that I got. I look at my parents and the way they live with people, right? My mom would have moved out from North Leeward to when she started working at one of the supermarket as a teenager. Right. And she would have she moved out of there and live in Kingston. And for years, I would see this woman go there on a weekend because she used to find herself in North Leeward every weekend, right? Spending time with her mom and her other friend. And she would go on the block. And when you see she do, you know, Chris, she liming with the people, you know, the 60-something, all the 70-something year old. Right. And when I talk about respect, you know, we used to be back in this, we have lost that now somewhat. But when you hear she calling every, you think she calling anybody by her first name? And she's big woman, you know. Right. Can't call nobody by first. Who is Uncle Barley, is Uncle this, Auntie this, and you know. Yeah. And so when I observe that is what I've adopted and lived throughout my entire life, regardless of where I am, regardless of what position I am and what achievement I've gotten.
So you did mention, you know, one of the great achievements, I think Vincentians are proud of it, that you became president of Cricket West Indies. West Indies cricket has given us a lot of highs, a lot of lows throughout the years. How do you deal with when you get that pressure of the lows?
Again, because I've been in cricket for such a long time, at different levels, I understand West Indies cricket better than most. In that, I know it is never going to be an overnight fix in West Indies cricket. I know for a fact that you're going to endure some poor, terrible days in West Indies cricket, especially as a fan. Because there are games, as a fan, you sit back on your couch and you watch, or you're watching your phone, wherever. And all you think about, you need to win, regardless of the city. They don't care where you're playing, what condition, which team, what format, you should win.
Right.
But I am practical enough to know that with all limited resources in the Caribbean, with where we are, we've been in the 70s and the 80s, and then go to the 90s and the 2000s, where we've been struggling to win a game. People forget this, Remember the other day we won a series against Pakistan, our ODI series, 50 overs. First time in 30-something years, right? We win a series, an ODI series. So we have been losing for such a long time. But then when you're in the boardroom, you understand that it's about strategy. So we have a strategic plan 2014 to 27, where we know at the end of 2027, we are going to see improved performances on and off the field for Cricket West Indies, right? We know that by investing finally in young cricketers across the Caribbean, they will be in a better position that in a few years' time, they will be able to compete more as they hit international cricket. Over the years, the last 2 decades, what have been happening is we have a very talented but raw athletes playing cricket. When you take an Obed McCoy, for example, who is in St. Vincent here, from Bookament, right? Go to Bookament or that entire era and ask, where does Obed practice? Where can Obed McCoy, the international cricketer who plays all across the globe, where can he go in his era and practice? There's nowhere. Obed cannot find a facility. The Bookament is there. He cannot find Bookament facility to go and play because you go the most times on is high grass, like you could plant animals. That is the reality. The one facility that he could actually probably go and practice is Annisvale. And the procedure to get there, you have to go to Obed reach out to me and say, boy, Kishore, Obed know me since, I when Obed just came on the scene, I was like Obed mentor, right? And he would call me and he said, Kishore, boy, can you write a letter for me to Sports Council to get, because they gave me real pressure to get the facility to train. This is your international cricketer. So when you compare that, lack of facilities, compared to when you go England, a man in a local village club could go there and practice in the day and in the night whenever you want, right? How can we compete with them? So we have to put all these things in practice, in place, so that and so when I know for a fact as an administrator that this is our harsh reality here in the Caribbean, and then we coming up against Australia, England, and India, and you say, we should win all the time. It is unreasonable. What we have achieved over the years is so special to be competing with the rest of the world with our limited resources and what we have placed, what we have been in systems. It is almost a miracle.
You've come in for a lot of criticism, both locally and regionally. I don't know if it's maybe people who are competing for the job or whatnot, but I see a lot of articles by, I don't know the individuals. Some saying that you should choose between the politics and the cricket. How do you respond to that?
I mean, people can manage a different level of workload, right? I have always been someone to multitask, and not just multitask at the same time, but managing, 3-4 jobs at the same time, major jobs as well. I recall, and just to give an example, I recall in 2014, I became the president of SVG Cricket Association. And at the very same time, I landed a job in Barbados, a consultancy job to manage the healthcare system, transform the healthcare system over there. And I recall having a conversation. Somebody said,
like Grace Walters?
It's like somebody you know that.
Grace Walters?
Oh,
boy.
That's something I want to tell you there, boy.
Strange enough, when I walk with Grace during that same time, between 2010 to 2014, when I was at the Ministry of Health here. But so I know from them times, she was a nurse then. Wonderful nurse she was. I will leave it there. But let me come back to the point. In that, so I became the president of SVG Cricket Association, right? And because I had the job in Barbados, and there are a couple of persons who said, boy, you're young. Right? You know, they are, you're young. How you going to manage both? You know, in Barbados working and in SVGCA. What happened during the period of SVGCA? And if you check the history of SVGCA, it's Invention in Cricket Association, it will be hard to argue that that wasn't the most successful period of that association.
Okay.
While working a full-time job in Barbados, because people don't understand that a lot of these jobs in sports, they're not even part-time. You're volunteering your time.
Okay.
Right. But what I did then was, because I was committed to the task of being the SPDCA president and transforming cricket in St. Vincent and Grenadines, I ensured that I invested my personal money. So every weekend, literally, I would be in St. Vincent, because I know I had to handle the business of cricket, and that was from my pocket. So the point is, there are other people who would not have done that, but because I commit to something, and I understand that you have to work hard in life where you want, and I dedicate hours upon hours. When I tell you I force myself at 2 o'clock to go to sleep, to get here for 6:30, it's because normally I would go sleep probably 4 o'clock, and only because I know I need some sleep. And then I wake up to take the kids to school as well. Right? So I accustomed to pushing more hours than the regular person. And so I believe I can manage a lot more. But there's absolutely no conflict, which is the most important point.
Right.
There's no conflict at all with being the president. In fact,
And one wouldn't be neglected for the other.
no. And the day I have to compromise, then I would certainly give up one.
Right. Okay. And you commit to that now. If it gets to the point where you
Any-
feel like one is being neglected.
Anytime I realize that I cannot manage something, and I'm going to compromise the basic values I have with regards to work, which is excellence, right? I step in.
Which one would you pick if you're elected?
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Come back?
Oh yeah, but okay. Oh, we can go till 10 past.
Go till
We'll go till 10 past. All right. So you don't think that people will want you to quit now, CWI, if you are elected?
Listen, there's probably ULP supporters who making them kind of noise, right? I could guarantee you, by and large, right? And we know this, if we just peg the back to a year ago, just before I became a candidate, a significant majority of intentions supported me as being CWI president. Right. And they were all extremely proud. And I mentioned it some time ago, it is no easy feat as a Vincentian, a young Vincentian, to be the president of Cricket West Indies. Right?
How old are you again? Sorry.
41.
41.
Yeah, 41. I mean, it is a reason why we have never had a president before. And I think I mentioned this somewhere, that when
the PM might say it's up to him that you were president.
The prime minister had absolutely no influence in that. I will give you that story. Right? Let me set
Tory.
Let me set the record.
He said it was one of his biggest mistakes.
I want to set the record straight. Right?
Yes,
The prime minister has been going around and saying he what they say about success. I have many fathers, right? I recall, and just before I go there, before I give you a story, let me tell you that when I campaigned in 2020, when it was 23, as the president of cricket, for the president of Cricket West Indies, you know what the campaign was against me? The campaign was simply that they do not want any small island man to be the president of Cricket West Indies. What they were saying, nobody from the Windwards, nobody from the Leewards should be the president of Cricket West Indies. So just imagine that you have to go. You're going in 2023. You're coming up in a for candidate election in an original body where we have had many Vincentians playing. You have Antiguans playing and people from all over the Leewards and the Windwards playing for West Indies, and they're saying that they do not want, right, someone from a small island to be the president of Cricket West Indies, right? That is what we have to come. So Vincentians who understand especially the history of West Indies cricket, knowing about insularity and so on, it was a proud moment for them, because they know that this thing, players didn't even used to get picked. They used to get it very hard when you come from these parts and make West Indies, no matter how good you are, so much as to be in the head of that organization now. Right? Go to the PM now. A few Sundays before my election, by this time I was already nominated. The Prime Minister was on his Sunday program on WFM. Sorry, I shouldn't name it.
No problem.
There ain't no competition for y'all anyway. So I can mention it. You know, a good program, but you know it is.
But when you're big.
Yeah, that Sunday program, nobody really study it anymore because you realize we're going on it. But he was on the program, and a caller rang the phone and came on and said how proud he was that a Vincentian is nominated for President of Cricket West Indies. When the caller hung up, I think it was Cecil Ryan at the time who was the moderator for the program. He repeated what the caller said, that it was a proud moment for Vincentians to have one of their own nominated for the presidency of Cricket West Indies. He asked the Prime Minister how he felt about it. You know, if he's proud. Up to now, the Prime Minister answered the man yet. The Prime Minister ignored Cecil Ryan, right, and move on to something else.
Did that influence your decision not to go with them politically?
Listen, I know the Prime Minister's insincere a long time ago, right? I know that. There's only some people who ain't really understand it yet. Some people took longer than others, right? That is fine. I can guarantee on the 27th, they can show that most people already understand. But even further, right? Even further after that call, because a few persons actually called me and said, boy, you heard what just happened. I didn't hear it. I went back and actually got it. Somebody actually sent me the clip to listen to. And I said, okay, right? Fast forward, I was on my way to, this is where he saying that he helped me. And this is something I've never spoken publicly. I was on a play because I went around at the time and, you know, met the different prime ministers and presidents across the region, right, to explain to them my plans for West Indies cricket. Not that they vote, but I wanted them to know that CARICOM has a major role to play in West Indies cricket under my dispensation, because it was critical for them to know that, and for them to start preparing that we're going to work together to build West Indies cricket. I was on a plane just about to take off to Guyana, where I had set up a meeting with President Ali.
Right.
And the Prime Minister, just as I was about to leave, my phone rang and it was the Prime Minister. And he said, comrade, where you there? So I said, PM, I'm about to travel to Guyana. And I just lifted off the ground, so I'm going to lose signal soon. He said, where you going, Guyana? I said, yeah. He said, oh, but I said, go in Guyana. I know you're campaigning for Cricket West Indies. You should pass by. And he called the president by his first name. I ain't going to call him by his first name.
Yeah.
You respect. So he said, you should probably visit him while they're there. I said,
Which was
PM,
something you already had him.
I said, PM, I'm going to see how it goes. Right? Because I didn't trust him. So I didn't want to even let him know my plans. Right? But I didn't say, I said, anyhow, I'll keep you posted. Right? Because those days, you know, PM would call me on matters related to different things, right? Especially cricket. If they have matches and so on, and he would call, and we would speak casually. I proceeded to Guyana and I met with the president. This now I haven't heard from the PM after that point until after I was elected as president of Cricket West Indies, right? But I think he probably would have gone on maybe 1 or 2 programs where they would have asked him originally if he's supporting Dr. Kishore as the president. And he was, yes, you know, Vincent John, good fella and that. But in terms of influence, beyond that, and the fact that recently, if you remember when I went back for re-election in 2025, earlier in March this year, the gentleman went on a regional campaign against me.
Yeah.
Right? Against me. Disgusting thing to do as the prime minister of a country. Right? In fact, others reach out to me. I could tell you a couple of prime ministers actually reach out and said that, you know, just to declare their position that they are not involved in the election, the CWI election, and they just want to make that point clear that they're not, you know, going down that road. And so if in 2025 a prime minister of 25 years is going to influence people to vote against me, you really think he could have influenced them to vote against me in 2023?
Right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You're going to run
All right.
against-
Yeah, you want some ads?
Yeah, they're going to do
Want some
that.
quick ads? And we're coming right
Yeah,
back.
we're going to drink some lime juice and we're coming back.
Remember, Captain Lounge is open. Grab your breakfast this morning. You have your quiche, your patties, your sausage rolls, and so much more right here at AIA.
All right. I want to ask Kish something with all that lumber you carry down, leave down there. Sit down
Yeah. Give me lumber.
I know. I hear you gave me lumber and passport down there. But anyway, we'll come back with that. We're going to do some commercials and we're coming right back. So good morning. Joining us this morning is Dr. Kishore Shallow, a representative. That's our little representative for candidate.
But Chris just mentioned the passport thing, and I see the comrade making some allegations against
You
you.
selling passport? Yes, selling passport.
When we come back, we need to hear whether
How much passport you sell?
if you are involved in this passport selling scheme.
Nothing if. Comrade say he's selling passport. I want to know how much for one and which part the office is. That's what I want. So we're coming back just now.
When it's time to work, we up for it. When it's time to party, we up for it. And when it's time for the after party, we definitely up for it. When you open a bottle of Village Ram packed with honey goat weed, yohimbe, beet extract, vitamins, and more, you'll have all the energy you need to be up for it. Up for the vibes, up for the action, up for anything. Village Ram Energy Drink keeps you up for it. Village Ram Energy Drink, not for lambs.
If you're working for a while, come by Cots, I'll make you smile. Cots Black Friday come around. We are the best prices in town. Black Friday starts now at Cots. Yeah, it's back. Cots Black Friday. I tell you, hurry fast. Traffic on the highway. You know we got unbeatable prices. And furniture, electronics, and appliances. Are you coming? Say yeah. Weekly prices. Biggest and best deals of the season. Shop and credit to win it big. And pen nothing until next year, January. Crocodile come down to Coats. Cots already load. Cots already load. Friday start. Cots already load. And go when the Friday come out.
Hannah, guess who nearly burned down the kitchen trying to make gourmet ramen?
You again?
I had no garlic, no butter, no vibes, so I ran to Massey quick.
Just for ramen?
I came out with dinner, dessert, and even items to clean up. Plus, points on my loyalty card. I even transferred money and still had time to grab a little wine.
So, basically, you lived in out.
Honestly, with the parking, service, and the WhatsApp updates, I might move in next week. Who else doing it like that? Massey Stores, our family serving your family and your last minute cravings.
Under the ULP, a woman had her baby on the hospital floor. Another died from a ruptured appendix. Another woman died from a blood clot. The Prime Minister flies out for the most basic medical treatment. And now they want us to elect the same person who has failed as the hospital administrator to be our Minister of Health. Do not reward failure. The ULP is the same old khaki pants. You cannot trust them with your life. The NDP will ensure that your clinics and hospitals are stocked with basic medication. And we will deliver a national health insurance plan. Together, we will win.
St. Vincent, are you ready to embark on your construction journey? Let Reliable Construction take the stress and the guesswork off of you. Reliable Construction is a one-stop shop for all your construction needs. We provide a wide range of services: ready-mix concrete, concrete blocks, excavation works, site clearing, equipment rentals, debris removal, Ramacon materials, and much, much more. At Reliable Construction, we can even build your dream home with our team of qualified professionals. We will get the job done. Call us today to get your discount or package deals at 456-9093. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Reliable Construction, located on the Diamond Highway.
The NDP wants to privatize the hospital. Listen to St. Clair Leacock.
And try to sell off some by way of public-private sector partnerships. Starting with the hospital.
Privatizing our hospital means that healthcare will now cost you money. If the NDP changes from Taiwan to China, the hospital construction will stop. That means many more years without a modern hospital. To complete the hospital and protect your healthcare, put your X next to the star. Because Labour is working for all of we.
All right, here we are. Something to let you know, it's juicy at Korea's Food Mart this week. Gala and red apples. Gala? Okay. Gala and red apples are now $5.50 per pound. Enjoy this offer through November 15th. Korea's Food Mart, your only option for great savings. And yeah, we have goat meat. We have goat meat at $13.80 per pound for goat meat for Korea's goat meat.
Switch to Flow and keep your current number. Plus, join the best network in SVG. Take advantage of amazing deals only for Flow customers. That's how we keep your rhythm flowing.
We jump back in one time.
One time.
Let me go in one time, man. We are Dr. Shallow. Don't waste no time. Let me go, Dr. Shallow.
All right.
So we went with lumbar passport.
Dr. Kishore Shallow. First and foremost, the PM made some allegations against you as you have threatened to expose a briefcase of files.
Say I'm not in there.
Right? Says if you have files, he has something else. But he made allegations in as regards to your involvement in a company or a business that is tied behind selling passports. Are you involved?
And how much
in any business that is in that is in the business of selling passports?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I haven't even discussed the idea of being involved in any of it. In fact, I don't even know these businesses they're talking about. Right. But listen, if the PM says that, what the PM needs to do is come forward and provide facts to people, right? Because he has been getting over this for a long time, coming in front of people and blatantly telling mistruths, right? There's absolutely no truth to it. And by now, and if you observe the PM, you know when he's talking foolishness, and he deliberately does it. Right, because it's his way. I think he has concluded in his own mind that intentions, we are fools. So anything he says, we just accept. Right? But hey, what? And we can come to this at some point. The difference between the PM and I, when I speak, I'm going to provide facts. Okay. So whenever he come in with his things, tell him bring the facts to the people, because know that when I come and I speak, when I pull things from my briefcase, right, they're going to be factual.
Are you pulling anything from the briefcase this morning?
How much views we do now? Is it?
We were just at 1.2.
All right. If we reach up to 2,500 views this morning, I'll give you something.
Oh, God, man.
All right, well, share the live. If you want to see what's in the briefcase,
if we reach
2,500 this morning.
Let's do 2,000. I don't think anybody reached 2,000 yet.
All right.
So we do 2,000 views, and we're pulling something out the briefcase.
I guarantee you that.
For those who say that you've threatened the briefcase and you haven't dropped the files as yet, which means that there might be nothing in it.
Let me reach 2,000 views this morning.
And we see when the briefcase. And just an FYI, the briefcase is here.
But shouldn't you drop it? Right? And also, shouldn't you drop what you have, seeing that it might be of national importance? If it is that, let's say, members of the government have been involved in things that would say, boy, maybe this doesn't fall within integrity. This isn't.
I want to show you something. Let me show you something.
All right, you're going for something again.
I know where the camera is.
Shallow.
I want to tell you, right?
Shallow.
I want to tell you. This one here, right? All right.
Shallow.
Let me show
Shallow.
That Saturday, we're having a big rally in Chateaubriand.
Right. Okay.
And I could tell you that files coming out in Chateaubriand.
What is that?
Let me show you.
Shallow.
Are they go read it?
Wani. What does that mean?
Wani.
I don't know anybody named Wani.
Yeah, we know Wani.
All right, so this is the file secure for Wani.
Wani who went to Paralympic.
Wani.
Oh, who's Wani?
That would be our astute friend.
One vote.
So that coming out for show Saturday. So if they think that it ain't have files in here, but for this morning, if we reach 2,000 views,
Better.
I guarantee I'm giving you
Genie,
at least one.
keep an eye on the live.
Keep an eye on them numbers there because we want to see something.
We want to see something out of it.
Yes, sir. Tell me something.
So 1 year as relates to Carlos James.
Boy,
I'm just asking. You say one. You say one.
Is the name that he has gotten over the last year.
Right. Not the sheriff.
I don't know about sheriff. I mean about sheriff.
I think he calls himself
Because he's sheriff. Right? So he's a new sheriff in town.
Oh, he said that.
All right. So, but so you are committed that if there are improprieties that have been occurring as relates to St. Vincent and Grenadines and the government, that you will expose it.
Of course. I think that, and what I've heard from my colleagues, each candidate from the New Democratic Party, is that we are committed to transparency and accountability. And we believe that if you're in public office and you misbehave, then you should be held accountable. And when I decide, and listen, we know they have all kind of different things we could talk, right? But what we're doing and what you'll get from this case is actually facts of misbehavior.
In public office.
Misbehavior, right? Mismanagement of our resources.
The thing what broke up with Grace Walters and the $144,000, was that in the case?
That
I come from that case.
It has so many things, you know.
When you say mismanagement of
our resources, of our limited resources, right? I mean, we know we have limited resources.
You're talking a bad spend or like a stealing?
Boy, it depends on it. Maybe how people interpret it, right? I mean, for me, standing on the side of the law, I would say bad spend.
Bad spend.
I would say bad spend. You know. Again, they ain't catching me this season. You know,
no spare money to give away.
No. I prefer help my people not leave out with my money. Listen, and just to go back to that, I am 100% committed to leave. And as I said, I do not go into anything unless I am truly committed. And I look forward. At this point, there's no doubt in my mind that the people of North Leeward are going to elect me as their representative. And I look forward to the day
by one vote
of being in a position. Even he might vote for me. Right? Right. I tell you, Chris, yesterday, right? Let me tell you how it happened. So your nomination day is between 9 and 12 with a grace period of an hour going to 1 o'clock. You have up until 1 o'clock. And I went there about 10 after 10 walk from my office, which is just around the corner. I have to pass his office, the ULP office in Chateaubriand. And I walk around there going up to the police station, right? So I pass and I realize 10:15 we walk in and no activity at all taking place over there. Reach by the police station, don't do what we have to do, complete the process. And still no sign of the man. So I say, but like I don't oppose this election, eh? They can't like the man backing out. Next thing now, I go, after I done my thing, go back to the office, relaxing, because we waiting for now start the celebration, go on the road and enjoy with the people. I had to go back around there to so I passed around that side there, and somebody told me, but wait, you see the man? So I said, who man? You see the man, they call the name. They say he was just there. Is it really? Because normally, you know, nomination or celebration, you go to the police station or wherever, you have to do your nomination. I have your people with you, and you know, the man, somebody went up to the man and said, "Man, me an incognito," because it's the man took a back road, you know, and tried to go up barracks to try hide from the people. It's almost like you're trying to sneak in your nomination. I never see more madness.
You know, you said something.
That is a fact, eh? That is very factual.
You said something a while ago about office. And this one will relate to something the Prime Minister said on a video that I saw, where he said he'd tell the troops and the warriors and labor and the army to come out. But then there's another video now. I think the office is yours on Chateaubriand. Where I think there was some NDP persons gathered there, maybe for a meet or whatever. And then it was invaded by ULP supporters.
Because a few persons called me and out of concern about the property being, you know.
Right.
what I say, Mr. Listen, if they want to go and enjoy themselves and the property at our office is absolutely no problem with it, right? And I think the people were just enjoying themselves, quite frankly. I know there were a few NDP supporters. I think they were waiting on transportation to come to our rally.
Okay.
Right? And they just say, well, let me escape this whole thing here.
And they walk away from
confrontation,
that.
and they walk away from that, which was credit to them.
Right.
But in terms of the ULP supporters, who they and they jump up on you, we have a little stage, they jump on the stage, they went upstairs. Listen, I have no issue at all with that.
Yeah. But the property wasn't vandalized and not like that.
No. I
Right.
think it's all in the spirit of just enjoying the
festive
season.
Yeah.
People this election is a carnival, I realize to some people.
So
And once they keep it clean, I have absolutely no problem. They welcome back there. In fact, last night, because we had, police had to shut down our thing last night, the music, and they shut it down only to shut down the audio, the music around 6:30 thereabout.
Okay.
Because my own observation is that down the road they were looking scanty and quiet.
So they
and
shut it down.
And there's too much vibes up there, so they say shut off the music.
Carlos James has recently launched an attack on you. He says that you are Johnny come lately, fly by night Johnny come lately, no substantive political understanding. Right? He said that your leadership in the cricket administration suggests an inability to manage Cricket West Indies and therefore should disqualify you from political leadership. My question is, because, as you said earlier, fans are frustrated with Cricket West Indies and whatnot. Does he have a point there in that because you can't lead something like Cricket West Indies or to this victory that they're saying that you should be bringing it to, that translates into political leadership?
My records for cricket off the field, Cricket West Indies off the field, shows, it's very positive. In that during the first 2 years, we executed the biggest World Cup in the history of cricket. Right? That is it was unprecedented. St. Vincent, you saw the same, and he tell how people are ungrateful, right? He came and he boasts about his tourism numbers, but he forget it's because of the World Cup that I spearheaded, right, as the president of Cricket West Indies, why he was able to get those numbers. But that is a different matter. The truth is that I don't even think Carlos wrote that speech himself. I think the Prime Minister planted those things for him and said, boy, you better say these things, and they go down so, And that is the thing. I don't believe Carlos, in his sober mind, actually believe those things that he said there. So I forgive him and I move on from it. And it doesn't even want responding to it because none of it has any merit.
Well, of course, if the team on the field, you might be doing well off the field. If on the field, the results aren't coming.
But remember as well, even on the field, under my same tenure, we move into 20 cricket, we move up the ranking. If you look at our ODI team now, we have been doing better than the last 20 years or so.
Okay.
Right? Our test team is very inconsistent, but you could still see that, their potential there. But this isn't inconsistent with what been happening in anything from 2000. It's not inconsistent. So, yes, you might say, well, he's the president now, he should be held accountable, and fine. But then I still have to be practical, and I could tell you that the administrators and the people who really been observing West Indies cricket separate from being a fan, because just as people are hurt when we lose, it's the very same way. When I see we reach close to winning games and we're missing out on opportunities, I am hurt. But at the same time, I understand very well that we are not going to play the kind of cricket consistently that we should be playing until we get certain things right.
The crowds matter in campaigns?
Of course.
So, this aside,
you'll be washing all year.
In your I shouldn't have answered because it might be a little biased, but all again, wash with the crowd.
Well, let me be honest. I don't watch their crowds. I don't watch the things. I'm not the best person to ask the question. All I could tell you is that every single one of the NDP, whether meetings or rallies, have been well attended. Our rallies, they have been exceptional. You could see the setup. The best setup we have seen in this campaign so far is in Sandy Bay, when we had it out of London. Like, nobody has reached it, and the crowd are just magnificent.
One could say that because of the entertainment that you had.
Mali Dan.
You had Mali Dan.
Came out and said NDP woman have the best. Good. And all them things there. They could say because of Mali Dan that persons came out and not ready for NDP.
People were out there in the yellow, jumping up, and enjoying. When the speakers were on, they were there and they were into it. I mean, you see people blowing horns and all these things.
Lick
This
out
is
them
all
like that.
part of the.
Nah, liquor going at the 100.
No.
Liquor say, I thought I want to talk.
I'll be very honest with you because I was on stage, right, that night. And I mean, yes, people may say that they reacted. Maybe they could have done it in a softer tone, right? But I could understand the frustration of the two gentlemen, really. Because, and I blame at the time the monitors on stage. They were either low or just not set properly. So you couldn't hear yourself.
Okay.
Right? You couldn't, but there's absolutely no doubt that the people were hearing you still, even though they were blowing their horns and making the noise. They were actually hearing. But because you're on the stage, and when you're on the stage, most people on the stage, you know, even your MC or whatever, you would know, boy, it could throw you off. It could throw you off by you not hearing yourself. So I think that is where the frustration went, and not so much about the horn. So and eventually, you know, by the time I think when the other speaker came on, it actually improved a bit, the monitor. So it is something, just that one night it was a little off, that I think. But, you know, these things happen.
We have a serious issue. At least I have a serious issue. I think others share it. In that, on the government side, it seems like a lot of their candidates or their MPs are afraid of the prime minister. I don't always get the impression they agree with his policies or things that he might say, but they don't seem to come out and say, well, you know, maybe that's not what's best for country. Maybe that's not what we all feel. Are you, I don't want to say afraid of Dr. Friday, but would you, if the NDP have promised us these things and within the term that they're supposed to provide it, did not provide it, would you come out and hold your party accountable to that?
There are so many differences between Dr. Friday's leadership skills and Ralph Gonsalves' leadership skills. I don't think anybody in NDP wants Doc to be like the Prime Minister he has been for the last 25 years or so, where he has almost stifled people, right? Where it's almost like people are oppressed from being themselves. They are not empowered. And you could see it. When he brags about nobody come, you know, just leave our party, you can't leave. You can't leave. There are people who really want to leave, but they just can't leave. Right?
Give me an example.
Of somebody who wants to leave?
Yeah.
I wonder if all the orders want it.
Wait.
Who on the ULP want to leave? With any life, they tell me. 1.6.
You can give me that. I coming out the briefcase. You can give me that. Who on the ULP side want to leave the ULP and can't leave?
Tell me when we reach 2000, my brother.
How you doing, man?
Tell me when we reach 2000. Listen, we all in the program still now. We still have over an hour.
Right.
So we go touch it. But bring back that question later. And I will tell you who want to leave. Don't forget.
Okay. Yeah, I don't forget. But you think that they're
stifled. The point is, they're stifled. Whereas under Dr. Friday's leadership, having worked with Dr. Friday closely for the last year, I see a leader who is going to empower his people to perform. And so he would create an environment. And this is important of a leader. You have to create an environment where people feel they could contribute, where people feel they could offer their ideas and opinions, and where you could, and it's not everything he's going to agree with.
Okay.
But he's actually going to create that environment where you feel, well, yes, you have a voice, and you're just as important in building this country.
But some would say if he takes that role, he's too soft.
No, it's not soft. It is most great leaders are like that. Right? Most great leaders are like that. Listen, and people just talk a lot of things because they do not know Dr. Friday. But because you hear people say it, you know, listen, I have
seen... He said you're lazy. That's the comment.
That's nonsense. I mean, Dr. Friday and the candidates of the New Democratic Party have been all over this country, right? Not just because election, no. We have been there having meetings after meetings on the ground, meeting the people, engaging with them, understanding what they feel, which is why you could see the difference now. There's a serious disconnect between ULP and its people. As opposed to because when them tell about things nice in St. Vincent, we know things ain't nice, we know things wrong, right? When they come and tell about, oh, we're moving up and the economy growing and things, we know better. We know better. So but Dr. Friday, I mean, the man is charismatic, right? When you have a conversation with Dr., I mean, you know, you feel as though the man is really listening to you, right? He's listening to you. And he would, as I said before, is about empowering. Leadership is about letting you know that, listen, if you are willing to work, if you have the ideas, I am going to facilitate them and help you to execute them. And that is the kind of leadership that St. Vincent and the Grenadines on. St. Vincent and the Grenadines no longer could put up with one single individual making all the decisions in the country. It is dangerous. It is unhealthy. It is time we move on from that. And it is the reason why we are stagnant. Or at best, we have moved at snail's pace. It is why we are 30 plus years behind the neighboring countries, because of this one man who decides that if he doesn't believe in something, he's not going to do it. So he doesn't believe in CBI, the Citizen Investment Program. So the country cannot enjoy the benefits of it, while others around us, neighboring countries, are benefiting, generating millions upon millions. They have better salaries than us as a result of it. They could host major events like music festival and then which is attracting thousands of visitors because they have the CBI to invest in, right? They could cushion other issues in society, so they don't have to add VAT and all these different taxes because of CBI. The Eastern Central Bank, they came out in full support of this. They have facilitated where we have framework to strengthen the program, right? The Caribbean Development Bank came out in support of CBI. So you mean that all these exports across the region, all these ex-team leaders across the Caribbean are championing CBI and say, yes, this is of great value to the region. But this one single man in our country decide that, no, we're not doing that because I want to be the ultimate leader and supreme power of this island. And we are not bringing anybody else.
You said on a platform recently that you can't join Sabi and Camilo. Why you say Sabi and Camilo? What's wrong with Sabi and Camilo?
Listen, I'm happy that we have elections coming up, that people are going to vote these men out of office, right? And they're going to be out of office, and I don't want in any way to tarnish the reputation, right? So I prefer not. If you notice in this election, it's only who trouble me, I just trouble them. I only trouble. I only defend myself, right? So them two gentlemen, they ain't say anything about me to my knowledge yet. Right, so let me leave them alone.
But it's kind of it's bit of a
Israel Bruce out in South Central Windward would deal with Sabi. Sister Lavon in East St. George would deal with Camelo. Right, but for now, unless they trouble me,
yeah, troubling them. Except for what's in the briefcase.
Except for what is there.
And we almost there again, and we sitting in that briefcase there today, no? We sitting there today because your boy, you just put yourself in thing. Anyway, when it comes to campaign, the messaging and the campaigns. Now, how would you, if any at all, compare the NDP's campaigning strategy to the ULP's campaigning strategy?
Well, one, we have been sincere in our approach, in that we have been in the community. So look at someone like Senator Siobhan John. Siobhan was in the last election in 2020. She ran and she lost. And she has been on the ground ever since.
Yeah.
Ever since. Working with the people, helping the people. Right? She has been there. One of probably most successful cricket tournaments in this country over the last 5 years is Siobhan's tournament that she funds from her pocket. Right? She has been there for the people. So when she is now formally in a campaign for office, they know it is sincere. They know this is not just political gimmick, right? That she just doing this to gain office, because she has proven herself. She has worked with the people. And this is the case for the others, even the MPs from our side. I mean, you know, the money, they spin out the men, them just get, you know, for being whether it is nature, major or fit signing them. The spin-outs they get in opposition, right? So they just have to actually put on, you know, the fundraising activities, you know, they get some sponsors and they try to do things. But I want to make this point, you know, because you just say the ULP, and you know how they lie and dangerous when they're ready. you would hear that those people, the candidates, and especially talking about, oh, we opposition in doing the MPs that they haven't done much, right? There are attempts made, like I know in the case of Nature attempted to fix a road. It was overbearing for him, and he got the resources together, right, to fix the road, and they blocked the man from fixing the road.
What's the reasoning?
Wickedness, no man. It could only be wickedness. And when I say wickedness, it's on the part of not only for Nature, but the people. You can't care about people, right? When somebody, it doesn't matter where it came from. I will give an example. I'll give you 2 examples, right? In Cumberland, this was spoken about. In Cumberland, there were people who were yachties refusing to come up on the jetty day because they didn't have a stair to come up from the water. It's almost like skiing or climbing, right?
Right.
And when I look at the situation, I say, well, boy, this is something that could be addressed. And I told these people, because I know the government, right? I know how they operate. I told them, listen, I could assist with this. I don't mind funding it, buying the materials and so on, and even paying somebody to do it. But I know the government, and if I do it, they are going to either lock me up or they're going to block it from happening. So I say, I am distancing myself from it. But
so you want to take a lockup for your country?
I believe in. I don't plan to be in jail anytime in my life. I stay on the right path to do that. I don't plan to do. For nobody I take any lockup. Right. All right, we're trending.
We're going in. We're going.
We need 300 people going on the line. I could hold it. I could see my feeling.
Going on in that case.
Listen. And some people, I told them how to go about and get it done. And they went and got the materials, build the ladder to go up from the thing. Beautiful thing they made, right? And police, national parks and police reach out and told them if they don't move it, they're going to get locked up. Police going to come and lock them up. They call.
For stairs?
Right? For stairs. So someone called me and asked me for advice on the matter. I said, listen, they can't lock you all up for that. If it's anything, they go and take it down after, because I know. In fact, one of the guys got frightened after he received the call and attempted to go and say, boy, listen, we're going to take it down. The people on the beach in Cumberland, they said, listen, if you all go there, we are stoning you all. And that is how they end up and left it, Right? I mean, you would think up to this date is day, and you should see. For me, I went there a few weeks after. And whereas I was really thinking for the yachties to help with tourism day. When I went there and I saw kids jumping off from the jetty and using the same stairs to come back up. I mean, trust me, it warmed my heart, right? But this is the government. And the other example, there was a piece of road that I'll give you an example how this government, because boy, y'all need to understand this government. For people who don't understand this government yet, right? It's because I don't know. You just choose. I call it willful blindness, right? Oh my God, I kind of lost. How do you hear? Chris, you thought something, man.
Always,
Chris, boy.
Always.
Anyhow,
we still hear it.
So there's a road in North Leeward. I'm not calling it, right? Because it may implicate people. But there's a road in North Leeward that the last election in 2020, the government promised them they're going to fix the road, because for years they've been asking for the road to be fixed. They went on the eve of election and dropped some materials there. Rubber car, steel, right? Drop them there and say we're going to fix the road for you. And we see them doing it again this time around, Chris, the week after election, they went and moved the material from there, and up to now the road ain't fixed yet. So the villagers, I'm telling you, the villagers told me about it, right? I said, listen, I would fix this road for y'all, because it is not a huge project. So I can't see why the government hasn't fixed this road for all these years. I purchased the material for the people. But again, I'll be straight. I ain't going to jail. So I said, listen, my situation is how much?
1.8 open the case. We're going, brother.
All And I always see that I one of the men who does honor.
Oh, you had to honor this. You had to honor this, brother. We're going.
Right?
Yep.
So the road fits, Chris, is that Pana Chris Fitz boy. They almost, you know they try to block the man yesterday from being elected.
Yeah. Dr. Friday.
You come to that just now. But anyhow, I bought the materials for this road. After these people, this wicked government went on the eve of last election, put materials there, then go back after election and move them. The people rode there 5 years later untouched. I bought the materials and put them there. I said, listen, I could give you all the materials. I could even if you all find laborers or whatever, I would pay. But I am not doing it. I am not getting involved. The villagers are so intimidated by this government that one day they attempted to do it and they saw a Braxton vehicle driving up and down. And they say, boy, somebody call me and say, Shallow, listen, I wait until they get elected and the NDP in office and we go fix this road because the way I see them here up and down, I know them going to take pictures and they're going to come and victimize we down here.
So
that is the state of our country, you know.
Citizens can't come together to fix a road?
In this country, I am telling, unless it is being done on behalf of this government, it is either being blocked or you could find yourself in serious implications with the law. Because it is just, this is how you operate when you have a dictator at the head of the country, as the prime minister of the country, right? That who is only there and it's just him. And all he's concerned about is self-preservation. All he's concerned about is being re-elected. He doesn't care whether you put food on your table, you know, Chris. He doesn't care if Jagger is able to afford medication when he gets ill, you know. All he cares about is how he gets elected or re-elected for office. And every single decision is in line with that. It is not about the people of St. Vincent.
Can you give us some of your plans for North Leeward? Development of North Leeward?
Yes, and these are well documented. I've repeated them on the platforms over the last year, and I have them documented on the website, KishoreShow.com. So you could go and check it.
So all the lumber where you send down there, that's to do what?
Yeah.
Listen.
You're bribing people.
I wish I could get the people lumber. And I could tell you that as part of the long-term plan, and I'll get to that for North Leeward, is that so people could be independent, right? Dr. Friday, the NDP administration is not about handouts. We will assist you when you need help. But we believe long-term, we have to empower you so that you can help yourself. And that is what true leadership is. That is what has been absent in this country. We have seen for years that people have been losing the independence. And it is well orchestrated. It is a plan, right? And, you know, ironically, you know, y'all remember, I mean, I was in grammar school them days when Ralph Gonsalves was campaigning to become the leader of this country. And I could remember people then. Chris, you hold on me. So you will remember.
Plenty.
One of the, I didn't want to say that. but you look young still, eh? You look young. Yeah. But listen. One of the main opposition or campaigns against Ralph Gonsalves then was that he was communist, you know. Y'all remember that, Chris? You remember that?
I remember that.
People were saying the man communist, and he going to turn our country, right, into a communism, a communist state, right? That we're going to bring communism here. In 2025, you have to really ask yourself if he hasn't well and course to that, you know. And you also have to ask yourself, because one thing Ralph has been the Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves has been repeating over the years is that he's not leaving office until every single thing is complete. Y'all know he talk about that sometimes, right? I haven't listened to him recently, but the time he say he talk about, you know, I have things to complete and I'm not leaving office until it is done. So you have to ask yourself, if because of the opposition he faced then and the accusation of being a communist, if it isn't a case where he has slightly diverted on a different route to achieving what it is he really wants. Because when you see a country getting poorer and poorer under government for 25 years, you have to wonder if this isn't well. Because anywhere else, I have seen throughout the Caribbean, a place like St. Lucia with government changing after 5 years. right?
Why?
Our government shouldn't have the 10 years. You're seeing progress. And I am thinking that if you're in power, if you're in government for such a long time, that it should be stable. It should be stabilized, the whole thing. So you have no excuse.
So with a debt
it shouldn't take you so long.
With a debt like 800 million that we have now, you haven't seen any progress?
800 million.
How much was that? Yeah,
closer to 3 billion.
Oh, whatever. But this is where I get
If it was an 800 million, I'd say, well,
listen,
so you haven't seen any progress.
No, Chris. Maybe when NDP wins, Chris will start to pay attention. But no, Chris has the last hope in this government. Chris, I speak on behalf of you when I say that. You have lost hope like a lot of other Vincentians in this government. That people just tune out because people know very well that under this fella, right? Because it's one-man team. Well, it's one-man team. It's not. It is one man. The government is one man, right? Under him, we have no great prospect. We have no advancement to make because we have seen that the fella, the gentleman, whoever you want to call him, that he doesn't embrace change, that he doesn't care. So, but again, back to the point of communism. You have to really ask yourself.
Plus, they still want to hear the a couple of your plans will not be.
Yeah, geez, boy.
1.9.
Come, we going now.
Let me answer before we reach 2000.
We're going.
Let me answer before we reach 2000. North Leeward is a place where it should be a tourist destination, right? That could generate millions and millions of dollars for our country in a sustained way. And so we have to transform the places in North Leeward, the Cumberland, which has tremendous potential, Chumka Bottom Bay, which is there, left with high grass and bush and no sort of facility for people, whether it's the fisher folk or just people who want to enjoy the beach. You're talking about places like Rosebank Beach, where they have garbage washing now, but has so much potential. Chateaubelair, right? And you have come back to farming and fishing just now. Then you go up to Darkview Falls. Darkview Falls again is just there. They don't even, I don't know if they have it now, but the last time I checked, they didn't even have electricity at Darkview Falls. Right? It's backwardness.
Carlos says they're going to put a hotel in Cumberland.
He's a joker, right? And just lying to the people.
Stop!
Right? Blatantly lying to the people. The man had absolutely no plans to do it, and because he heard that the NDP has plans to develop it and transform it into a marina, he run and thing. People know he's lying. People know he's a joker, right? But anyhow, that is tourism. So we are going to transform North Leeward into one of the most popular
tourism hubs
in the entire region. Right? Not only in St. Vincent, in the entire region. Right? And that is going to happen because it has the potential. Agriculture. People are massive on agriculture. Before we know in the 80s, is marijuana. So the people are used to being in the hills, in the farmlands and working hard. And even before that, they used to be doing, the regular produce and so on. They would be selling across the place. So we have to empower our farmers again. There's this young farmer I keep making reference to. The guy is in his early 30s. All the fella knows is farming, and he's passionate about it, but he hasn't been given the support to. We have to give people who are interested in farming, we have to incentivize them by expanding the market. So we give them the tools, the training, and we expand the market for them. There's the agriculture depot. I recorded a few recently. The one in Rosa in Belmont, the one in Springville. There's a banana shed there as well. These things are dilapidated if you see how they left them, right? So we are going to ensure that they have feeder roads as well to the farm, because that is a critical point. You can't tell people you encourage them to go into farming, but yet they have to hike, right? You have to hike to go to the land, and not only that they hike. If you had a hike to land, then how are you going to return your produce?
Right.
How are you going to get them off the land?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. So you have to give the people feeder roads so that they could drive there at the very worst. If they don't want to drive there, because most of them are happy walking, going naked. They just carry the tools, or they have the tools on the land. So they're just walking going in. That is fine. But to return the produce to the market for people to afford them, right, or to get access to them, they need better roads. And Hermitage, up in Rosal, and all over, we're going to provide those things for the people. So that is tourism and agriculture. We're going to second those things and get them working once and for all for our country.
Right.
Because it's not only North Leeward these are going to work for, they're going to work for the entire country. Then you have fishing. We talk about the blue economy, where when you go on Peterbilt Beach, people want to to fish, because that is all you know for years. Even Rosebank as well, right? We have to again provide them with the necessary support that they want. And listen, sometimes they don't. Them people not begging, you know. All they say, just provide us with the basic things that would just and they would then encourage other young men and women to get into that as well. So we have a full plan for the blue economy that is going to help. Well, and then sports. Oh, coming here, Jagger. 1 second, please.
Hold on, Jagger. Wait.
Sports. Wait. When you look at sports, right? North Leeward has some of the most talented athletes, and I want to on the matter of sports, I have to congratulate the SVG swimming champ, the OECS swimming championship game third.
Yeah.
Right. Congratulations to all the athletes, the swimmers, and the association for all the hard work they have been doing, independent of the government. Right. Sports has the potential to transform St. Vincent and Grenadines and the economy of St. Vincent and Grenadines, and we have done very little throughout the entire country to help sports. North Leeward is one of those areas as well. I believe strongly that we could provide far better facilities with light. Up to this point, we don't have a facility lighted in North Leeward. We have to address that, because people, just imagine.
PM Studies brought that up with Vinlek.
Again, blatant lies. Right? And even if he has only done so on the eve of election. So that is about him more than the people. Right? Just like how they run on dark holes by gold in Leeward, and I think some in Central Leeward as well, and somewhere else, right? Make a mockery of people. But anyhow, we are going to ensure that the facilities are there for sports. We also going to ensure that there's a national policy and action plan that would transform sports, that there will be a sports revolution in St. Vincent and Grenadines. Because we can't talk about tourism and don't talk sport, because the two of them could complement
goes
each
hand
other,
in hand.
Right?
And
so we have to do that. But you have to also put systems in place, that there are academies for the young athletes to attend, and that they could be full-time part of. Because that is the only how they're going to really develop and nurture the true potential, or reach the truest potential. So we're going to implement a proper, comprehensive, robust plan for sports. So you have those 4 areas that in the short term you're going to see some things being done, and in the medium to long term we're going to ensure that they're sustainable for the development of our country.
Speaking of potential for North Leeward and the country, what's happening with Reno? How have the people of North Leeward been dealing with the quarry that's been put down up there?
That's an unfortunate situation, because one, and it's really testament to the fact that this government doesn't care about what people think, right? What our people think, or what anyone else think apart from them. The truth is that the quarry in Richmond was a bad idea, right? And the simple fact that they didn't consult with the people, and they just go, I mean, can you really imagine that? That you just go and bulldoze an entire mountain, right? Move, dislocate farmers who've been earning money for them and their families, right? Dislocate them from the lands, right? There are people who are almost reached the stage of harvesting. Destroy them without even consulting with the people. And then even worse, you don't even compensate them properly after that.
Or you don't compensate them for the land?
Not properly. There are a few who haven't received anything at all, and there are some who are given, like, when I tell about a drop in the bucket compared to the value of the land and the agriculture,
Are there no significant people? I've been told significant amounts of people employed by the quarry. Is that true?
I don't know if it's significant. There are a few people. I don't even know if there are some locals they employed as well. What I could tell you is that when a situation starts bad, it is unlikely for it to finish good, right? And the fact that they didn't do an assessment in the first place, the fact that they didn't consult with the people, it would never be embraced properly by people unless you reverse that. Unless you go back to say, well, you pause this project, let's do a proper assessment, let us consult with the people, and so on. I think people are especially peeved, and generally, and this is reasonable, that people are going to feel a sense of neglect, right? And they're going to reject also that project until they receive what they really should get, right? Don't forget, a lot of these farmers, went through, not long before that, the volcano. So they would have lost stuff. The crops and so on would have been destroyed during the volcano. And so people had already, replanted stuff. And then to lose them again to a bulldozer, right? Trust me, it is ridiculous and it is really unforgiving.
So we've had 11.8 thousand people on the live, which is a lot more than
how much?
11.8 thousand.
Yeah, 11.8
thousand views currently.
No man, I don't think that's.
You want to see it?
Show him.
You're doubting me.
Go down in that place, brother.
Give me 1.8, man. You say 11.
No, we've had 11.8.
I understand what you said.
Which is plenty more than
way past 2. Way past 25.
So you can pull one thing.
Pull something out. We want to go commercial.
We deserve
Pull something here. We can leave it one. Put out one before we go commercial.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So pull out something.
So after the break?
After we break, we're dipping into the... Hold on. Let me see it.
Bring it back. We got in the bag. Watch you in the bag. Look at there. Check it. It's a thing. It's all feel. It's heavy. It's a thing. We're going to do some commercials. We're coming back. And when we come back, we're going in the bag. We're going in that bag. There. Dr. Kishore Shallow said this one. And we're going in the bag. We're coming back. On the move.
Wait, why is she going into that spooky house? Who's that creepy old guy? And where are her friends? Why is she going in the basement? Nothing good is down there, sis. I bet you the creepy caretaker did it. Did you see his fake eye? Okay, maybe not the caretaker.
Hush.
You hush. I'm solving a mystery.
We're like the person who doesn't ruin the movie. CG United Insurance. Good like that. That's the sound of your animals. Strong, healthy, and delivering yields you love. That didn't just happen. It began with you feeding them only the best. East Caribbean Feeds. Rest assured, we only produce your feeds with premium ingredients. No hormones, no animal byproducts. Just everything your animal needs for maximum nutrition. Because your animals deserve only the best. East Caribbean Feeds from Maximum Nutrition.
If you shop online, you need Island Bargains, the dependable U.S. mailbox service. From a pen to a truck, nothing is too big or too small. You buy, we deliver. With Island Bargains, get your items super fast with our air cargo service that leaves Miami daily with delivery to St. Vincent within 3 days. Or ship heavy items with our ocean cargo service that leaves Miami weekly. With our team of logistics experts, Island Bargains makes getting your stuff a breeze. So why delay? A better U.S. mailbox solution is just a click away. Sign up is free online at islandbargains.com. You buy, we deliver. Island Bargains. For more info, contact our local agent, Carreras Hazels at 452-6114 or WhatsApp 434-1246. Terms and conditions apply.
When they got to send money on more abroad, use Carry Pay.
Something big is coming to Vinci. The way you pay for goods, the way you send and receive money. It's all about change. Introducing Carry Pay, the Caribbean's digital wallet. Secure, simple, and seamless. Follow Carry Pay on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok now to know when we launch. Carry Pay, the easy way to pay. Something big is coming.
Carry Pay, the Caribbean's digital wallet.
Alrighty, are you in a celebratory mood? Yeah? All right, let me tell you what you should get to complement that. There's luxury and then there's Martell, a symbol of refinement, legacy, and taste, crafted for those who know what quality truly means. Chris, whether it's a celebration, a toast with friends, or a moment of quiet victory, Martell Cognac turns every occasion into an experience. And right now, at Gonzalez Liquors, the regular price is $105, Chris, for one bottle.
We need a bottle now. We're
going to send for a bottle.
Send for a bottle. Because that case opening today.
If you're buying 3 or more, you get the special price of $87.50 per bottle when you purchase. All right, so elevate your evenings, indulge in excellence. Martell, defy expectations. Available now at Gonzalez Liquors.
There you go. It's juicy at Carreras Food Mart this week. Gala and red grapes are now available, and they are going at $5.50 per pound. Enjoy this offer through November 15th. Carreras Food Mart, your only options for great savings. And yeah, we have good meat. and curry for only $13.80 per pound. That's the goat meat. So check out Korea's Food Mart today.
Also, stay connected with data every month and minutes to call local, regional, and international numbers. All of this for as little as $60 a month when you add postpaid to your Flow high-speed home internet. That's how we keep your rhythm flowing.
All right, stay cool and refresh while eliminating the heat with SVG Cooling today. Located in Arnesville in the Chill Spot Gap, we offer the #1 branded AC unit in SVG. Our top-performing trusted zero inverter units are perfect for homes and businesses across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Our units offer excellent energy efficiency. We save you money on your electricity bills, along with extended free installation on all units to you, our valued customers. Our price is extremely competitive. It's the best on the island. We also have a 2-year warranty on selected parts and more. So check out SVG Cooling today.
Christopher, I've told you about the Breakfast Nook. Available at Peppercorn. You need to check out their hardware division. They've got all the tools that you need for your DIYs. Remember, Christmas is coming up. Wait, you fixing up this? You're going to paint over?
I'm going, yeah.
Painting over?
I painted over there, yeah.
They've got the kaleidoscope. They've got so many brands, all the colors that you need available at Peppercorn today.
All right, we're going and come back to Dr. Shallow. We're going right back to Dr.
Jumping straight in?
We're going straight in, dude. What is your scene? We're going straight in, Mr. Widow. We're going.
Well, hold on. Jeannie, you ready?
Jeannie, you ready yourself?
Ready? All right.
Wait, we're going in.
Hold on.
Let me wait.
Hold on. I just want to move from in front this window. I just want. Hold on. I want to move from in front this window. I don't know what's going to happen next. But we are about to dip into the briefcase.
All right.
Now, I think it was last week or week before, Dr. Kishore Shallow, candidate for North Leeward, was on.
He said, "Wile me up."
He said, "Oh, wile me up."
Wile me up. Because I have some things in here.
If you want him to pull the files
out of this briefcase, I shall.
He will pull the files.
And with us today, we have the case.
So we're getting one thing out of the briefcase today.
Kind of
so you leave me by the window.
So so it's happening by the briefcase there. That we're going to open that briefcase there and all kind of things. So my brother. Wait.
No,
Crystal, on the microphone.
Make sure I can hear myself.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Right.
So you see, how much you reach? What was he? We close to 2,000?
Yeah. We're at 1.9.
So close enough. All right. I'm going to fulfill my promise. I'm going to fulfill my promise.
Yeah. We're tired of promises not being fulfilled.
All right.
Broken promises.
Oh my goodness.
Make sure my mic on.
Your mic on. Your mic is on.
I hear myself.
You hear yourself?
Check the headphone.
I don't see what I mean.
It's Luke headphones.
Oh yeah, sure you hear yourself there though.
Not yet.
You hear yourself? Man, use mine, man.
Man, yeah.
Like they walking out and all the.
Use something good, man. Luke trying to spook me with that old headphone there. Use that. Use something good. Right. Sure you hear yourself
Yeah, much better. They might try to cut this off too. All right, let me pull one.
Pull one.
Let me see which one I could get.
I
want to go light with all this morning.
Man,
I want to save the big guns for Saturday. Let me give you.
Saturday is where again?
Saturday is in Shatterby, Sharps Playing Field.
Okay.
Sharps Playing Field.
So it had this one here called ULP Treasury.
Treasury boy.
It's a guy ULP Treasury, right? I'm gonna put this on the table. I'm gonna put it on the
ULP Treasury.
ULP Treasury. Right? But I'm going to put it on top here.
Right there, yeah.
Just in case I feel like revealing this one here too.
Yes.
Right? But let me get another one.
Give me
Let me get another one. I'll save that one there.
Yes.
All right. So let me go through. We're going on here.
What is it? All kind of pretty color thing you ain't there doing. What is that?
Let me see this one here.
That one is super.
I could give you.
Cheese.
But yeah, options.
Remember, tell all, you know.
Boy, Jesus.
The thing we joking.
Pull one, man. Pull one.
Let me
I pull out there.
Let me just get them from this one here.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Let me get them from this one here.
What letterhead is that?
No.
I'm telling you.
I have my stuff them properly done.
What? How you looking over there, Jack? You good?
I ain't too sure.
All right, better. Over here.
So let me tell you how we're going on. So let me do, because remember I told you this is about accountability,
Mhm.
and it is about being transparent with the country.
Mhm.
And we have a prime minister who blatantly lies. Some say he's a pathological liar. And some even say a real communist. Because people still call him a communist. And it is hard to even discount that. You all know the prime minister recently talked about we are on our way to being a first world country. You all heard
I
him
saw
say
that. I saw that. Yeah.
I probably heard or read it somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to adjust that lie. And what I have in my possession, and I only printed off a couple of the points that I made from it, but I have a full report. And Jaga, I'm going to show you because I have it everywhere. Just in case somebody thief the case, I have it documented digitally as well.
Wow.
Right? So Jaga, just verify for me. I want to put it on the camera. Right? But you see a document there. Jaga, read out for the people here.
It's
Right?
come on in,
Jaga, read out for the people here.
Read for the
Right?
people there.
I can read the title.
The title.
Okay.
Right, just read this part right here. So, all right, that part right there.
There's a report here and it says understanding monetary poverty metrics and policy relevance.
All right, don't go any further. Don't go any further.
This poverty thing again.
But you see it there. Because what happened is that the prime minister doesn't want the country to understand exactly where we are, right? In our economy. He doesn't want people to understand that we are a struggling nation. And on the other side, he is blatantly lying to the people and saying that we are well on course to being a first world country. Listen, under the ULP administration, under Dr. Ralph Gonsalves as Prime Minister of the country, we ain't going nowhere. We are not elevating our status by any means because of the facts, right? And the facts are in the report. And in addition to that, there's a poverty and vulnerability assessment that was done for SVG as well. And let me start to quote. In fact, let me give you because this document broke down even the definitions for you. So it tells you that, let me define poverty for the people.
Okay.
And I'm quoting here. A classical definition of poverty is that it is the inability to attain a minimal standard of living. Y'all understand me?
Yeah. So the very
inability to attain the minimal standard of living. That is really what poverty is, and that is a definition given, and it goes on, given by the World Bank since back in 1990 thereabout, and it broke down the different types of poverty and so on. This assessment, another quote related to St. Vincent and Grenadines, it's a poverty remains a significant challenge in St. Vincent and Grenadines.
That can't be right.
No, they would know.
ULP are a poor people's government.
And it even say with considerable demographic disparities.
They said years ago that the poor poverty.
Give us some figures.
But it was off, yeah.
Let me go far before we come to figures. This is the part that the Prime Minister especially doesn't want people to hear, because he had to win them Norths.
Right.
He had to win them 2 seats in the North. Not Leeward and North win for him to retain office.
Right.
For him to remain in office. Here what this assessment say. This poverty and vulnerability assessment for SVG. It says that faces of the poor and vulnerable poverty is concentrated in specific rural communities, especially in the northern parts of the island, including Spring Village, Rose Hall, Sandy Bay, Overland, Fancy, Oria. Y'all here?
Okay.
North of the island.
Not Windward, not Leeward.
Windward, not Leeward. Spoke about the other areas, but it's specifically identify those areas. He said these areas often overlap with the poorest sensor divisions and are particularly vulnerable to natural disasters. So not only that, I made it. I don't know if you all saw the Rasnati video recently, right? I posted it, I think, yesterday or the day before, right? And Rasnati reminded me, because I couldn't remember this, that when the after the eruption, disaster free eruption, I actually got a boat and I went up to North Lever just to assess situation there. And I took Natty, because Natty was staying in town. He wanted to go and visit his properties there to see how they were going. And we drove up there, and I was telling Natty, boy, with the destruction there, the unfortunate thing is, especially in North Leeward, all the funds that are going to be coming in the country, we are not going to see 5% of that spent in North Leeward. And as Natty said in the video correctly, it has manifested that way. That so not even 5% of the, right? So even though we are most vulnerable in the North, right, we do not spend money. We don't spend at all in North Leeward, so, right? Which is why we have Sybil Hill, and we hardly could move. We have to use a bypass road and so on, because they don't care about North Leeward. And the other side of the island, they only spend when it comes to election time, so that they could be re-elected by the people, right? You don't care generally about, which is why the fisheries complex out there is left to rot after all the $1 million spent out there, right? But anyhow, you document, and I'll save some of this for the platform too. Man, you're the platform all over. And I really think it is. How we did now, my brother? How we did? We had 2K. We had 2K now. Yeah. Pull out. I gotta get them this year. I gotta get them treasury. Treasury. Let me go to the treasury. But the document gives the figures to show where we are in terms of the poverty line in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But they said that's deliberate. Sorry? But they said that's deliberate. But I said, don't forget all I mentioned about where we are in terms of the man started in 2001 where people were accusing him of being a communist and for him transforming us into a communist state, right? And you have to wonder, because you see it, you see it, that we're trending that way. And I could tell you, maybe when he talks about he has incomplete business, maybe that is what he's talking about. Maybe he's talking that after 30 or 35 years, because remember, nobody knows if he plans to leave. If we give him another term, he can ask for another term. So maybe in his mind, he thinking 30, 35 years may be enough to convert us totally, to transform us totally into that heavily dependent state, right? So yes, Chris, I believe it is well orchestrated, because it shows. If you read about communism and how it works, it will tell you, one of the first things they tell you that they do, the communist leaders, what they do, they offer you, they offer you free education. All right. That is one of the very first strategy of a communist, They give you free education. That is the starting point generally. I like that though. I like free education. There's one thing with there's a difference between education, because listen, there are countless people who haven't been in some institution, right? But yet they're well educated. A degree doesn't mean you're educated. True. It just gives you a certificate. Right. And that is the reality. It is when you're trying to train people in a certain way and confine people, it is when you're talking about you're going to. So if you give 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 people scholarships and you can't provide jobs for them after, it is pointless. It is better you send them to learn a skill. Right? That is the reality, because they will then be able to self-sustain themselves after. Right. But when you put everybody and everybody wants to study pretty much the same thing, and you come back, hello, you're coming back here and getting $2,000 a month and the $3,000 a month are just over. Right? You can't live on that. And there are people, remember, even in addition to those who study, who go on the scholarship, because it is then so competitive after. If you can't get a scholarship because you vote NDP in the past or your family is NDP, because them people, most of them don't get anything, right? Then you have to go and take a loan. You have to take a mortgage or a loan in most cases. And if you even check most of the people who come back after studying, whether scholarship or not, and they come back to this place, they spend a while before they find a job, right? Which means you're home and doing nothing either. And then even when you find a job, the salary that you get, right, is almost like it make it worse for you. Just to pay back the loan. it's to pay back, and at the end of the month you want, and you're frustrated. When I say make it worse, because you're frustrated, because remember you don't invest your time and go over 3-4+ years studying, and you come back here, you can't find a job, and at the end of the month you realize, well, wait, I can't even afford a meal, I can't even afford to go out once a month, right? I can't take a vacation in an entire year, right? What is the point? And that is why people are migrating from St. Vincent and Grenadines, right? And the document speaks to all these kind of risks. Because if you can't afford to pay your bills at the end of the month, if you can't afford to support your family, your child, or your children, or you have to choose between buying groceries or sending your children to school, then any opportunity you get, you're going to migrate from here. In fact, there are people, this is the reality, there are people who are qualified, meaning get a degree, right? After they come back from the scholarships, and leave here and go abroad and do security and those kind of jobs.
Yeah.
Right? That is the reality, because it's always more competitive if you're coming from a different, if you're outside and you're going to the different countries. So you have to take, jobs, you have to compromise in ways that you would not have done home. Nobody coming back to St. Vincent. Well, there are a couple of people I see come back with degrees and doing security and things. Yeah, I understand there was a case of that recently. But going back to the point, they tell you, Jagger, that if you're a communist leader, you offer free education. And by doing that, because when you tell people that, boy, you're going to give a free education, you feel, well, wow, you're such a caring government. You're such a caring leader because you're giving a scholarship. But where are the opportunities after you finish? Educate, quote and unquote, educate me. Where are the opportunities for me? That is where we should measure this government by, because they have failed. They have failed to provide opportunities for people. But let me ease up on this one here for now, because
Treasury.
Time running and I want us to deal with the ULP Treasury. Treasury. Right? And we will have time to discuss, because I will tell you what, this document here, I am not supposed to have it. I am not supposed to have this document here. Which is
doubling security by the door.
Yeah. Security by the door, man.
Man, we live in love with people.
Yeah.
You see, when you live in love with people,
right.
You don't have to worry about the security threats, which is why the Prime Minister has to be doubling his security, because he knows.
Do you think there's actually a threat of violence against him?
I really don't think so. I think people just ready for the PM to go retirement and wherever he go after that. People just say, but it's all optics for the Prime Minister.
All
right. But ULP Treasury.
Treasury. Yeah, there you go. Treasury.
Ah. And I have more people in here, but I'm ready for bring out them here.
Right.
I'll say something when people are not leave on that Saturday. Right. But let me give you this one here, because I made a copy. And ULP keep talking about ULP walking, wherever the slogan is. Walking for we. Yeah, walking for we, walking for you.
Walking for me.
What we could safely say is that the ULP is walking for themselves. Right? As in the party, the leadership of the party is walking for their circle. Right? And I have done my investigation and my observation, and I have facts to show salaries and benefits given to the people in that circle. Right?
Give me something.
This one.
I get at least two.
Pull out.
I get at least two.
Look, things busting here.
Give me the salaries.
There's a gentleman very close. I name him, but my lawyer ain't give me clearance yet to call the name.
Okay.
Right? But he's very close to the Prime Minister. Right?
It all?
His monthly salary. Right? look, come verify it. Come verify his name. You see the name there?
Uh-huh.
All right. His contract. I even have the contract number.
Uh-huh.
Right? You see the contract. Look, doesn't tell lie. Look, you see the contract number there. All right. The man looks at Jesus, boy.
Looks at Jesus, man.
While poor people are here struggling.
Uh-huh.
Right? While we here being oppressed, people can't even afford, based on the poverty. They're making $9 a day and less. Right? The poverty assessment report. You know how much? You know how much? You know how much this man making a month right here in St. Vincent and Grenadines? $40,000 plus every single month.
What? As a salary?
Over $40,000 every single month.
Look at him there.
That is an annual salary of $500,000, near $500,000 in St. Vincent and Grenadines. Now just imagine, you know the number of people that could provide employment for?
Look rub the eye.
But Chris, here the worst part. That just salary, you know. It's a transport allowance in addition to that.
With $40,000 salary?
It's a telephone allowance in addition to that. And it's a housing allowance.
With $40,000?
A month. Right? Now you add this up. Look over my shoulder. Let me hiding from Luke. Luke watching it. In addition to that, you have a set of people who are just there. And it's not that they are employed only, but they are not doing anything related to government business. They are just on the payroll. So you have the family. I don't want to call the man name because he ain't doing too well in health. You know, I don't call her name there. Right?
Well, look for it.
In fact, he told them he ain't doing well. It's almost. But what this shows, right, is that people are making close to $10,000, right, per month by just being in the circle of the ULP, right? So in addition to this man who making over $40,000 a month, right, you're talking about us just they being paid a salary from the treasury, not the ULP treasury in this case, but the national treasury. They getting paid money for just being in the circle of the Unity Labour Party. And most importantly, while other Vincentians are suffering, while when we go to the supermarket, we can't afford meals, right? We can't afford to buy our groceries so that we could go home and cook our meals.
Kish, close up your back. Put it back
in your back. I will save the rest because...
Save it. Oh, Jesus.
And listen to me. The Prime Minister right now, the fact that, you know, in fact, let me say, the contract number ends. I believe it. I believe it. Let me leave it there.
Let me leave it right there. Bye-bye.
Dr. Kishore Shallow.
Boy.
We want to thank you for your time.
Your boss on file, man. Boss on mount too.
You got to your 2.1 thousand. And yeah, just walk safe.
Drive good. I hope you get flat. I hope you car good.
But let me say that, I mean, and thanks for facilitating this, right? And it's always a pleasure and fun being here with you guys. And you all do a remarkable job every morning. But
thanks. I'm trying to keep them together.
Yeah. I can see you doing well. But seriously, on the 27th of November, Vincentians have the opportunity to really be part of a historic change, to be part of a new dispensation that brings new and fresh ideas to St. Vincent and Grenadines, who takes us beyond just a one-man show. And we all have a say in how we build and advance the country. Under Dr. Friday, I have absolutely no doubt that is the approach we are going to take. And throughout the length and breadth of St. Vincent and Grenadines I've gone, I feel that wind of change. People are really ready for change. They're fed up, right? And not Leeward, I mean, people don't conclude it is gone. I mean, in fact, people joking as that, boy, by the time the election reach, Carlos going to even vote for you, right? And that is how it is, because people in North Leeward are fed up, and we know we have a comprehensive plan to transform North Leeward. And I am 100% committed to ensuring that we deliver a better, a more productive North Leeward. Not only for the people there, but for St. Vincent again. Because when North Leeward does well, the entire country does well.
All right.
And so we move with that.
Dr. Kish, walk good, drive safe. Cameraman, you had the fold-up screen thing there. Have to unfold it when you go downstairs there. Fellas, and all that. SSC Black Squad, they could come down now. And all that. We're going to do some commercials and we come back. Dr. Kish, thank you so much. And yeah, we're going to do some commercials and come back.
You know, guess who nearly burned down the kitchen trying to make gourmet ramen?
You again?
I had no garlic, no butter,